Hello, my friends. It's Jamie with Crave Fitness headquarters, and today we are back with another interview. Gosh, I just love these things. Today we have Shereen Oliver. She is the owner and coach of Crave Fitness, and the thing that is the coolest about all of this, she's in Australia. So I don't know about you, but I'm like, it's going to be one day for me and a day for her next. And you're like, you're a nerd. But anyways, absolutely amazing woman who is going to teach us how she has just blown her group fitness classes, both in person and online, just completely out of the water. So let's go pick her brain. All right, here we go. All right, my friends, welcome back to Crave Fitness headquarters. My name is Jamie, and I am like, I can't even tell you how excited I am to introduce Shereen Oliver, who's with Crave Fitness. And I will tell you how I found you. I found you off of a Facebook ad. So whoever's doing your ads is doing amazing work and have been able to join you as a member and be able to do online workouts. And so today we are totally going to pick your brain about doing in-person classes, but especially I just feel like you have completely mastered how to do and operate in the middle of this pandemic, and like how you made the switch and being able to create this really online presence. And I know we've kind of talked about this, but I think it's so amazing that social media has been able to connect us, because I'm sitting in Louisville, Kentucky, and you're sitting in
Sydney, Australia.
I mean, how crazy is that we can just connect and be able to talk. So thank you for being here. What I would like to just start right out of the bat is just kind of, if you can talk to us about what you're doing today, like what classes you're teaching, what is Crave Fitness, those types of things.
Okay, all right. Well, firstly, thanks for having me. It's this is a really good opportunity. It's just really nice to connect with everybody and connect with different people. So thank you, and I'm really glad you found me too. And yeah, I'm sorry about, you might have to listen hard for the accent, because I know at first when those ads went out, the majority, like 80% of the people that joined from that ad came from the USA. And as they were getting to know me, they were like, wait, what? Slow down. Like, we're trying to understand you. So that was interesting. I'll try and not talk too quick or say any too many Australian colloquialisms. So at the moment, well, dance fitness is our niche. We have gyms where I am. We've got gyms and studios virtually on every corner where I live. But dance fitness is our niche. So although I teach HIIT, of course, I teach boxing, what we call bar class, which is like a body pump class, boot camps. We do all that. I teach all that. But dance fitness is where my passion is. And because, I mean, it's got me through so much. Like, I think you hear a lot of people saying that. It gets them through just so much, the hard times, the low times, the challenges. And I always just fall back. Even now, I'm falling back on dance fitness to not just for the fitness, but for the therapy as well. So yeah, like I teach anything and everything, but dance fitness is where the passion is.
So how did it transform into Crave Fitness? So how long has Crave Fitness been operating?
Well, okay, so we've been here almost 9 years. Early next year, yeah, it'll be 9 years. But how it started was, I think, like with most dance fitness instructors, you'll hear they started off teaching Zumba and loved it, still love it. I'm actually still a registered Zumba instructor, although we don't do it anymore. I might throw the odd track in for fun. So that's why I still remain a registered instructor. But what was happening here was I had all different halls and little studios that I would hire out around Western Sydney. And one day my partner just said, you know what? Because we were carrying speakers and everything from one venue to the next. He said, let's bring it all together. Let's open our own studio. And I was just, what? No, because fitness was my side hustle. A lot of people say that, fitness or dance fitness, it was my side gig. So to actually say, what, really, you want to invest and open up a studio, give up my day job. It was scary. And, without his, I guess, backing and support, he said, yeah, let's do it. So we brought it all together here to Crave Fitness. We opened up the studio and brought it all here. So big step, scary, scary step. And we wondered, would the people from the other suburbs, would they follow? Most did follow, and they didn't mind the travel. So that's how we ended up here. And now it's been 9 years. And I remember when we opened up, we said, look, if we last 5 years, that would be really good, because it's scary, right? Your own business and your own premises and stuff like that. We said 5 years would be great. And now we've almost doubled that. So, yeah, we're pretty proud of it.
So when did you move to having the online presence?
Well, in 2018, I think it was, 2017 or 18, again, my partner said, you know what, we should really stream these classes, because people were moving interstate or having babies. A lot of the women started having babies, and they were like, oh, I wish you had, at the time, I'm going to show my age now, at the time it was DVDs. I wish you made DVDs so we could do that at home or stream the classes. And we played with the idea for a while. And then, my partner said, look, let's do it. Let's do it. So we set it up. We had a good setup, a professional setup. We spent the money, and especially because with dance fitness, as you know, the music is everything. For me, the music is everything, and I didn't want to have any kind of static or muffled music or interruptions, which can often happen. Even now, we're kind of at the mercy of the internet, a lot of the time. But so we really set up here with a really good sound system. That was priority number one. And we got it rolling. And, we had like, I don't know, 40 members, I think. And it was the mums that had moved away or the people that had moved into state. And that was fine, because I was doing the class anyway. So it was coming out to them. And I had to get used to kind of connecting with the camera, knowing that there were people on the other side there, real people. So it started off like that. And it was like that for a long time. And then we said, you know what, we should really advertise this. And we've never advertised. We didn't know how. We didn't know how to advertise. So we thought, well, okay, let's put together an ad and we'll advertise. And we tested those ads with Facebook. I don't know if you know a lot about Facebook advertising, but it's a killer. Oh. It's a killer. It's just really, they don't make it easy at all. So there's a lot of testing that goes on for the algorithm to try and understand what you're trying to do. So there's a lot of testing. So the testing went for about 6 months. And we were really deep in the testing around Christmas time. And I remember we were trying to spend time with our family, and all this testing was going on. And it was just like, it's been 6 months. I'm tired of this. Is this ever going to happen? And then, honestly, we got shut down here. I remember the date. We got shut down here on the 23rd of March, 2020. And this ad went out. It just so happened to be ready. It's like, I don't know, the planets aligned, the angels were, everything just worked out. And those ads were ready to go virtually the same day. It just worked out that way. So out they went as the world got locked down. And I don't know what happened. It just took off. It took off. And it was like having a newborn baby. Oh. We had shifts where I would sleep, and because you're in a different time zone, and people didn't know us, so if we weren't getting back to them straight away, they'd be like, scammers, you're not getting back to me, you scammers. And then I would wake up and they'd say, look, you're not getting back to me. Just say they were having trouble logging on, you're not getting back to me. And it was like, I had to say, guys, we're in Australia. Oh, you're in Australia. Yeah, we're in a different time zone to you. So then we took shifts, and I would stay up all night so I could answer people. And then my partner, Jason, he would stay up the next night to answer people. And it was just going crazy, it was awesome. It was awesome. Now we've got, I think we had close to maybe 4,000 when we started with 50.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
And
tell
not all of those people are on our Facebook page. We're trying to get them on our tribe page, but some people don't choose to be on Facebook, I guess. And we try and encourage them to post and share. Um, and a lot do, but then there's so many that don't.
So talk to us about a little bit about the classes that you have available on there. I also want to, I know that the people that are watching this are group fitness instructors, but we're also students. And I really want people to understand what you're offering to them because the entire program is amazing. So can you kind of talk about the classes that are available through the membership?
Yeah, well, see, look, back in the day, I used to be, I was into bodybuilding and I was successful. I was quite successful at it. And what happened was, as I grew and got older and my kids got older, actually, I'll tell you a funny story. It was actually my youngest son it was like a huge slap in the face. I got to finally go overseas for bodybuilding. And he said to me, Mum, he was about 7 at the time, and he said, Mum, is your competition going to be before or after my birthday? And I said, it's after your birthday, darling. And he said, his shoulders, he just sank. I said, what's wrong? He goes, this will be, and this is a 7-year-old that was counting the years. He goes, Mum, this will be the 3rd year in a row that you didn't eat my birthday cake.
Oh.
And honestly, it makes me emotional. I get emotional when I think of that. And I just thought, what am I doing? What am I doing? The sacrifices, anyone that's ever done, bodybuilding or figure sculpting, the sacrifices that you make, very selfish sport, if you want to call it a sport. And it took him to say that I decided there and then, not doing this anymore. And then as I've gotten older over the years, I've realized just when I have girls come to me now and they want to compete, and I don't know whether I should be saying this or not, but I want to be just honest, speak honest from the heart. I really try and discourage them from doing it because it's not a sport where there's a finish line. It's all a matter of opinion. And to stand, I can't even believe I stood in a bikini in front of all those people to be judged. Now, this is just my own opinion. I've done it and I can speak from experience. But so it was his comment that really knocked that out of me. And because then I stopped doing the bodybuilding, I thought I need to just work out smarter. I still want to do all those things. I still want to lift weights. I want to dance. I want to do all those things, but my time is limited. So I've got 3 kids. They're older now, the 3 boys, but at the time, yeah, they were younger. We just opened this studio. I was trying to do everything. I was feeling overwhelmed. So I had no extra time to work out on my own. So I went, you know what? These workouts, they've got to be the shoes because this is my workout. It's their workout. And so that's how I kind of scheduled it on the plan. So we would have, the dance, fit and sculpt. So we could get the cardio with the strength. Like anyone that does my classes know that there is not a class that goes by without squats, lunges, working all those big muscles, to get really into the fat burning and to make sure that we get that hormone going so we can build more lean muscle easier. So all my classes have got loads of squats and lunges. So we've got the dance, fit and sculpt, and we'll take light weights in that class and do the high reps. We got that bit covered. Then on the next day, and if you follow the schedule, it follows like that. So the next morning, we're in a quick kind of strength, 30-minute strength class where, I do ask the guys to have dumbbells. I ask them to have a bar set, and we work with that. So a little bit heavier, still got quite the high reps, but heavier. Then we'll go to Wednesday night, which is just a dance fit class, Crave Dance Fit, which again, lots of squats, lots of lunges. So I try and keep it. And this is what they told me when I got coaches for bodybuilding. They said to me, you'll never be able to succeed in that because you're a group fitness instructor. I was like, what do you mean? And they said, well, you do too much cardio. You'll never be able to do that. And I was like, watch me. You watch me. So it's different. I think they think it's cardio like running. It's not, we're always sometimes we're getting on the floor, we're doing burpees, we're doing push-ups. We just incorporate it into the music, right? Or we're doing lots of squats. We're using our big muscles of our glutes and our legs all the time. So I was like, watch me. And it was good because I proved them wrong. These were coaches that were coaching for years and said that I couldn't do it. And it was like, well, yes, you can. It just depends, how you're going to program. How you're going to program the class, really. So then we've got the dance fit on the Wednesday, and then the Thursday morning we wake up to a really quick HIIT cardio session. And the Thursday evening we're in a bar class, which is a little bit longer, like 45 minutes, but again, bar set, so heavier weights. Friday night comes along and we've got what we call urban night. So urban night's a bit more, I'm not sure if you've done an urban night, Jamie, but it is, okay, so explicit lyrics. I warn everyone, explicit lyrics. We've got the original version of the song. We're going to be humping the floor. There's going to be squats, burpees, all of that. So everyone knows when they come into that class what they're in for, but it's a shitload of lower body work. Yeah. But that covers it. And I'm telling you that really, would you believe all of that adds up to about 4.5 hours a week?
Really?
That's it. It's just 4.5 hours in the week. And that's all I do. And that's all the members do. That's it. And it's enough. It's enough. You don't have to kind of work yourself into the ground. And then it gives your body time to recover. It seems to be the perfect recipe. And we tested it too. We tested it here with the medical grade DEXA scans. So it's body composition. And it's different because I've got scales here that say they're body composition, but they're not. This is a medical grade. So similar to an X-ray, they come in and they tested about 30 women that had all done this. And they all lost body fat and built lean muscle at the same time, which they say is unheard of. They say you have to do one or the other. You're either in a fat loss or you want to build muscle. But we did it simultaneously. And out of the 30, I think, honestly, there was about 28 that had that result. That was proven. And I was so proud of that. I was super proud of that. So that's what we say in the ad as well. We've tested it.
I just love that you've taken, I think sometimes in group fitness, you feel like you have to teach in a certain box. Like the format has to look a certain way or you have to do something a certain way. So that's one thing that I really enjoy about your program is that you've really incorporated it so that it's a well-rounded workout by the time you get done. And I would encourage other group fitness instructors, no matter where you are in your journey, to go check out this program so you can see like really how you can incorporate multiple pieces or aspects of fitness. I love that your message is that you don't have to work out for hours every single day. You don't have to drive yourself into the ground. And I find sometimes instructors, especially like when they're kind of new in trying to get themselves in, they're teaching these enormous amount of classes. And, you got to kind of take care of yourself too beyond, trying to take care of that class. So
100%. I see that all the time. I taught 16 classes this week. And my knees hurt just hearing that.
Yeah.
And you know what? I will say it does catch up eventually. I mean, when I first started, as I said, I was in different halls, some different gyms. I never did anything like that. Probably the most I probably did was maybe 10 classes a week. And that was too much. Like that was all impact or dance at that time. Whereas now I do the three dance fitness classes and the rest is quite grounded, grounded with the weights and the lifting. So it's a really nice recipe. It's safe too. It's nice and safe because eventually, knees, you feel it, hips, it's inevitable really, unless you do look after your body really well. You've got to do that. You've got to schedule the massage. I regularly go to chiro, physio. I'm always in the sauna. You've got to look after your body as well. So, but this is really friendly now because, I'm not a spring chicken either anymore. So I have to really look after myself as well. I reckon I got another good 15, 20 years of doing this in me.
I just figure our same students will follow us and we'll just modify the classes. I'm like, we'll be 85 years old, still working it, dancing it, and grooving it, just maybe not on the floor.
Yeah. Oh, look. No, you're right. You know what? Even after last Friday, I was like, man, I need to get some Crave knee pads for this. Why is this not humping the floor like they used to? It's it's hard. It's fun, but it's hard. So knee pads are needed here.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot here for a second. Have you thought about creating your own format and certifying, teaching people your format of teaching so that they could take and teach Crave dance?
Yeah. Yeah, that was something we get a lot of questions about that from people, especially overseas, and that's definitely something we're thinking about as well. We're very different, I guess, in the aspect that if you do join and you ever do take a class of ours, you'll see it's not pre-recorded, it's not edited, you're not getting the polished version. If you came on a holiday to Australia and you came to Sydney, said, hey, I need to do a class, and you looked this up and you came along to the class, that is what you're getting. When you press play on this program, you're getting as if you were in the class. So from the introduction to let's press play to all the stuff ups, different members jumping on and off stage, it's live and it's unedited. So sometimes even in the past when I've been injured, and the choreo is in my head, because you might be injured, but you can't stop producing. So the choreo is in my head and I think, okay, I don't have extra time to be doing it as well as the class. So I need to rest my legs. I need to rest my body. So the choreo is here. So, when I get there tonight, we'll nut it out together.
I love it.
That is interesting because, right? Sometimes in your head, you can do backflips, right? Backflip into the choreography. And then you get there and you actually do it. Oh, shit, no.
It's harder than I thought.
So that happened, literally. I'm like, okay, guys, we're going to nut this out together. So I was thinking we'd go here, we'd do this, we'd get 2 steps this way, 2 steps that. Oh, yeah, that doesn't, all of that is live for everyone to see. So it really is just, which is interesting because a lot of people have said to me, it's like reality fitness almost. Because it's not cut and edited, it just is what it is.
But I almost think that's so much better because when it's not so polished, you're watching real women put it together in class and enjoy each other. And, it's not, you don't have to feel perfect because you're watching this polished workout. So I think what you got's an amazing thing. I think it's an amazing.
It's unrehearsed too. Sometimes the women, they'll jump up on stage and I was like, this is new. You don't know this. And they're like, oh, okay. So then you just see everyone, fluffing around. There is just nothing rehearsed about it at all. And it's all live. So when you get those, brain farts and you forget the choreography, which happens to me, and this is the other thing, don't feel bad, dance fitness instructors, when you forget your own choreography. Happens to me at least once every class. I'll just stand there. Look, anyone know what this is?
What's your go-to move? Go-to move?
And do you know, this is the thing, that's when I get the biggest smiles and the most laughs And the biggest smiles is when I forget the choreography.
Yeah.
They love it. They love it. I think it's really nice for them sometimes to just see, wow, the instructor doesn't even know her own choreography. That's pretty funny.
And that's when we're desperately looking for our front rowers to go, okay, what is this? What am I doing here?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So if I was thinking about becoming a dance fitness instructor, what tips, like, would you recommend a certain type of training, or what kind of tips would you give if you wanted to get into this?
I think I really do think it has to be, it has to come from the heart. I say that because, look, because we have our own studio, in the past we have auditioned instructors, before that have come and look, some people would tell you, I'm a champion ballroom dancer and I'm the salsa champion and I've been dancing for 20 years. You hear all of that. And it's like, okay, cool. Um, but you've got to love people. You've got to love connecting with people. It's got to be from here. It can't really be this is what I've noticed personally myself, is that it can't be, it's a performance, but it can't be a performance, if you know what I mean. Because quite often those people, the ballroom champions or the salsa champions or the people that have been dancing for 20 years, they are still just dancing, but they're not connecting. They're not really connecting. I hope I'm explaining it properly.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. Like I can see someone who's perfect in every way, and I can't really say anything because I'm not a dancer. I never did dancing a day in my life, except for drunk at the club. That was it. I didn't do tap jazz or ballet or any of those things. I was a fitness instructor that loved music, and personally, I loved to do my squats to a beat. So I thought, okay, let's go. But I'm no dancer, and I tell people that I'm not a professional dancer. But I was happy to audition professional dancers. I thought, well, imagine what they could bring. But for some reason, it still feels like a performance rather than just really connecting with people, really connecting with people. I hope that makes sense.
I think it really does. I mean, because I would say, I mean, how many times have you been to a class where someone teaches with their back to you, and maybe not even a mirror in front of them, and it's almost like they're just kind of dancing, and then you. But I agree with you in that you need to be able to build that connection in the class. You're building, in essence, a community inside that room. So they want to come back and they want to work out, and, you laugh and you have a good time. So no, I think you're spot on. You're spot on with that. When I first started down the road of I'm going to interview the gurus, the fitness gurus that are out there, I did ask a couple of brand new instructors. I was like, okay, so what is like the number one thing you want to know? And it was very interesting that there was a very common theme that came back is at what point do I feel comfortable teaching? And I was like, oh, so what would be your answer to that? Like, how long did it take to feel comfortable? Which is a, I
I
don't
know.
know that word, but
Of course I was nervous. And do you know, to this day, like even though this is my own premises and my own class and my own members, I still get nervous. I get nervous. I think that's really important because it means you want to do a good job. But as for teaching, and this is going to sound weird, but to me, I never understood how people always call it, my students. I have never once referred to any of these people as my students. Not once, ever. Not even when I was teaching Zumba. They were never my students. And I know that's the terminology, my students, but they never were. We are always on the same level, always. And that's the way it still is. And I think sometimes when you think like that, like you and me, we're the same. And then there's not so much pressure. Like you're the student, I'm the teacher. It's kind of that added pressure. And I've never felt that because I've never ever looked at them or even as I said, never used the terminology, but I've never even looked at them as students. It's always just been me and my girls dancing kind of thing. And so I've never felt really, I get nervous, yes, but I've never felt like I'm uncomfortable or, what do they think of me or anything like that, because it was always, well, me and you, here we go. It wasn't like I was the teacher and they were the student. So that's helped me a lot. Maybe if you could look at it that way, rather than student teacher, it's like, here we all go, let's all have a good time. And then it kind of takes a bit of that pressure off.
Yeah. So what?
Sorry, I was just thinking about it. I felt comfortable almost straight away. And maybe that's because I haven't performed in the past. Or maybe I didn't know that pressure. I've never had to perform like at dancing, or even as a kid, I've never had to perform. So I didn't know of the pressure. So when I got up in front of them, I was nervous. Like, I got to remember 12 dances here. With that first class, how am I going to remember 12 tracks? That kind of nervous. But I felt comfortable being there. I guess I didn't know any different. I didn't know what the pressure was, I suppose.
So if you were, I'm going to try to phrase this in it. So if you were, and you don't necessarily have to be a new instructor, you're an instructor to a brand new class and you're expected to build it, and you go to that first class and there's like 2 people. What tips would you say, like your top 3 tips, would you say of how to build a class?
Yeah. Well, when it's like that, we've had ups and downs, here. We've tried different classes on the weekend, and sometimes, you do have to dance to 5 people. I've done that in the past when the class has been not in the most favorable time slot. I've danced to 5 people, and what you do is you give your heart and soul and with every cell of your body, you give your heart and soul to those 5 people. I've always done that. I've always done that. And then, one of those 5 or 2 of those 5 or maybe all 5 will go and say to someone, you know what, wow, we had the best time. And it'll just build. It'll build from there. But I've never I don't get disappointed. I had an instructor once sort of say to me, it's really disappointing when you don't have a lot of people in your class. And I said to her, no, like you dance there like you're dancing on your own. Even if you're dancing on your own, you dance with joy because it's in here. Let's leave the ego out of it. It means nothing. 1 person, 10 people, 100 people, that's just ego. You dance because it's from here. It's your therapy. And I think that's the best way to look at it.
I love that. I'm going to shift gears on us a little bit. So social media branding. What is your favorite platform right now?
Instagram, I'd say. Instagram, yeah. I try and dabble in TikTok, but really I don't have time. I know I said that's a bad cop out saying I don't have time, but it could get crazy. Like I heard LinkedIn is now going to be, it's the next big thing.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was just for the business people, but no. Apparently that's going to be next. So there's Insta, Facebook, Twitter, blah, 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 blah. I just don't have time. So Instagram's the main thing I use mostly. Facebook, I like to use that to communicate to our members, because they're all on Facebook. And that's the way I can communicate if I need to get a message out to everybody. But I love using Instagram.
And I'm going to toot your horn and say, group fitness instructors, if you're trying to figure out how to handle Instagram and what to do and how to get people drawn in, you need to go check out our Instagram page. I watched a video today of you when you were, I mean, this sounds terrible. You were like on the floor, like, I think it was to the song River. And I was like, oh my goodness, I want to go do this. And so, I mean, it was like spot on. I was like, this is exactly what you need in social media, because, I mean, you can't you want to do it, you know? So I will say, go stalk her Instagram page and her videos because
We had lots
spot
of
on.
fun doing that. We just did that on Monday night in the Monday night class, and we had so much fun doing it. But what you don't see is the hard work that came before that fun pounding. It was, you had the push-ups and all the
Oh,
tricep extensions
no.
and the hard work, see? And I just showed you the fun bit.
Well, that's okay. I'd come to class just for that, and then I would do the push-ups and the triceps. To get
The idea. If I showed them the push-ups and the triceps and that, they'd be like, yeah, no.
So, if you had to start like all over from the very beginning, is there anything you would do differently, or would this kind of still be the same pathway?
It would still be the same because I think when you start, from the ground up, my parents bought me what do you call it? They used to be called ghetto blasters back in the day, like the stereo. The stereo, there you go. My parents bought me it was $149 stereo to take to the first hall I hired out. And I had to learn everything from the start. My music was on a CD. And I think to build something really good that you can be proud of and know it inside out and back to front, I think it's great to just build it from the ground up. If you have two people in your class, just keep going. And you, the three of you, party hard, and from the ground up, build it. Something to be really proud of.
So, what are your tips for finding good music? You have great music, so how do you find it?
I'm just on Spotify, and you pick a few, and then it'll give you suggestions, and you get a few more. And then, of course, my other dance fitness instructors that I follow, I'll say, great song, and think, well, I'll use that too. That's a great way of getting new music, seeing what the other instructors are using, seeing what they're doing with their music. And Spotify is great because it suggests so many good songs to you as well. But we're a bit behind in Australia. You guys get more quicker. It's always been that way for the past 15 years that I've been doing this and trying to find music. I always look to my fellow instructors or my other fitness instructors in the USA because everything used to drop there first. So before the internet, was so prevalent, everything would drop there first. And so I'd have to find out the tips from them because we are a little bit behind here as far as music goes, music and the trends on this island here. Yeah, so yeah, I do. I look at what other instructors are doing, and I just love everyone's different style. Everyone has a different style, and I love that. Love it.
I think it's interesting, especially in dance fitness, that they're like exactly what you're saying. There's so many different types of dance fitness that if you're not necessarily teaching something that has to be very rigid and in that box, it's amazing what you see, like the different types that are out there. I mean, it's a whole lot of hip shaking and stuff on the floor that you're doing with River. But anyway.
Yeah, and there's something for everyone, isn't there? Like I see some instructors and they're like, whoa, I watch them and I'm like, man, if I could do tuck jumps like that, my knees aren't going to let me do tuck jumps like that every class. Like, no way. But they're doing it and they've probably got a younger following that can do it. And I just like, wow, that's awesome. And then there's another great instructor that I follow that she's over there too in the US, and she's building her, clientele and her members. And she's a low impact instructor. So she's got the groove. I'll have to give you her name too. You might want to interview her too down the track. But she's got the groove, but she's low impact. And that's how she advertises it. I'm low impact. So she's got it all going on, but just without the impact. I'm like, wow, awesome. Everyone's got their own flavor. It's so cool. Their own style in music as well. So cool.
I love the tips and the information that you have provided to us. I'll say tonight, but I think it's afternoon for you. But what I would say is, and I will put all of this information down in the description, but how do we find you?
Okay, so you could on Instagram, of course. It's Crave Fitness on Instagram, Facebook as well. We have a website too, but does anyone really use websites anymore? I don't know. It's not too often I go to a website these days, but we do have one. But if you look up Crave Fitness, .com.au, you'll find us. You got to get the Aussie one though. I believe there's a few.
Well, I want to give you a very big thank you for being on here with us tonight, this afternoon, morning, whenever you end up watching the replay of this video. Please reach out. The product that you're able to see, the dance fitness, the classes, the whole 9 yards, I highly recommend if you're thinking about getting into dance fitness or any type of group fitness classes, or if you're brand new, or even if you're seasoned and you're trying to figure out how to level up. I do think that really taking a deep dive into what Crave Fitness, dance fitness has been able to do will really help set you up for success. So I just want to say thank you so much for being on here with me tonight.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anybody with passion can take it to wherever they want to take it to.
Yeah, absolutely. All righty. Well,
thank you so much for having me.
Folks, check out this channel. If you like what's going on, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see some other things. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. We'll check them out. I'll get back with you with some answers and we'll see how that goes. But go have an amazing day and be awesome.